Week 1.
On the first day of week 1, students change their normal school uniforms for Chinese-style tracksuits. They start the day much earlier than usual, at 7 in the morning, with 30 minutes of physical exercise. In Britain, PE is usually fun, and students only have 2 hours a week. But in the Chinese system, students do PE every day. Then lessons begin, and students get another shock. All 50 of them are together in one class. In Britain, the maximum is normally 30. But in China, it's common to have 50 kids in one room. They stop for lunch early, at 11:30. Classes finish at 5. But they're not allowed to go home. They have dinner at school, and after dinner they still have a lot of homework and self-study. When they finish at 7, they have to clean the classroom. The school day is 12 hours long. British students find this exhausting.
Weeks 2 and 3.
There are big differences between Chinese and British teaching styles. The Chinese teachers teach very fast. Everything is done in books and on paper, and there is a lot of copying from the board. In Britain, for example, in science, the approach is to let students do experiments and discover things by themselves, with less help from the teacher. Discipline is also very different in British and Chinese schools. In China, the teachers have complete authority. But in Britain, the same teachers are having problems. They're surprised that the students don't take school seriously. When her students don't pay attention, Miss Yang, the science teacher, makes them stand and look at the wall. But it doesn't seem to work very well. As Rosie, one of the students, says, "It probably works in China because everybody does what their teacher says. But here, we don't care. We think it's funny." By week 3, there is a serious problem with discipline. Some students like the Chinese system, but a lot of others are behaving badly in class, and some students stop coming to class completely. The Chinese teachers are losing control and realize they need to change the way they are teaching, or their students will fail the tests in week 4. They start to teach the children about Chinese culture and food, and they add Chinese face massage to their daily lessons. They also try to teach patience and concentration using traditional Chinese games. During a meeting with the parents, the Chinese teachers try to get them to help and to encourage their children to work hard. The parents are impressed, and the Chinese teachers are filled with new energy and confidence.
Week 4.
During the last week of the experiment, the children in the Chinese class are behaving better. At the end of the week, all the students from the classes with Chinese teachers and the classes with British ones take tests in maths, science and Mandarin. These tests will decide which style of teaching has worked better. So, what do the results show? In the maths test, the children taught by British teachers get an average of 54%, and the class taught by Chinese teachers gets 68%. In science, British taught students get 50% and Chinese taught students get 58%. And in Mandarin, British taught students get 37% and Chinese taught students get 46%. The Chinese teachers are delighted, and their students are really grateful and happy. So, the Chinese teachers get better results. But does that mean their teaching methods are better? Neil Stroger, the head teacher at the school, says, "It clearly gets good results, but the discipline is too strict for some students." The Chinese teachers agree that their method doesn't help to develop personality or creativity. Perhaps the last word should go to Miss Lee, the Mandarin teacher. As she says, "It's very hard to say which system is better, but I think we both learnt from each other."